Welcome to 25 and Broke, where I teach you how to stop being broke financially, socially, physically, and spiritually so that you can stop being a wuss and start being a winner.
Today we're discussing how to pick college classes. So some of you are still in college right now, and I get that, so I'm going to speak to you individually right now. You know, so many students, well, I'll go into that in a second, but lots of people are just confused. How do I pick my courses for college? I don't want to waste years of my life on the wrong things. Hey, great question, great point. Let me share a story with you. So my first startup company I've shared on other episodes was a professional fundraising company for national nonprofits. We did it several million the first year. It was successful. We scaled it to different cities, and then after doing 110 hours a week of work, I burnt out. I just burnt out. I had bad partnership, and it just ended very abruptly. So years later, I had some in-between business or whatever, but I found myself in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I kind of took off for 5 years. I had saved up some money, and I was able to take off for a few years and just kind of party like a rock star, is the honest truth of it. And those years, my prodigal son years, as I call them, when I was just kind of living up, I was godless, I had no faith, etc. But one of the better decisions I made amidst all the bad, poor decisions was I went to college. That's when I went to college for the first time. I was probably about 23 years old, I want to say 24, because I didn't go to college when, I was 17, 18, 19, like most of you guys do, because I got into business at 19 and I started making a lot more money than friends who were graduating college coming out were making. And it just didn't make sense to me. It's like, why would I go to college to get a degree to make a small percentage of what I'm currently making now? That didn't make sense. So I ended up years later going to college on my own terms, right? So I'm sharing this story because this is how I did it. I'm not saying this is the right way for you to do it. I'm just sharing this is the right way it was the right way for me. So take what you want out of this. So I signed up for a local college there in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I said to myself, if I'm going to do college, I'm not going to do college for somebody else. I'm not going to pursue a degree that I'm not interested in because others recommend it or think that's what I should do with my life. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick classes and courses that interest me. I'm going to pick classes that excite me, that get me fired up in things I'm already interested in. So what do I want to learn more about, that I already like but I don't know enough of, right? So college is very important for education side of things because we have to learn, we have to improve, we have to get better. But if you're just chasing that little piece of paper because everyone recommends you should, then I submit you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Do it for you. You get one life, right? We're all renting space here on Earth, as I always say. We're here for a limited time, and then we're gone. So spend your time wisely. College is a huge step in your life, a huge stage of your growth and maturity. It's when you're going to make a lot of decisions about your future. So start looking at things that interest you, not interest others, right? So pick your classes around that. So that's what I did, right? So I started, I signed up for like crazy classes, right? I signed up for business management. So that was a very practical class. Why? Because I was interested in entrepreneurship, running a business. I had previous experience, but I didn't have any formal training. So I wanted to pick up the formal training and formal education of running a business, managing a business, leading others, leading a team. I had the real world experience in all those areas, but I didn't have the textbook, the formal education in it. So I really wanted to complement the two. So that was a legitimate course I signed up for. The others, not so much. I signed up for, I was interested in dancing. I love dancing, so I signed up for a Latin dance class because I wanted to dance like some of you Spanish guys out there, right? You guys know how to move. You got rhythm. I was a white boy from New York. And I didn't have that, so I wanted to learn it a little bit, right? So I signed up for Latin dance class. I had a blast, man. Met a ton of beautiful girls. I had the excuse to dance with these beautiful girls because it was just part of the class, right? That was a fun class. I signed up for martial arts, right? Aikido specifically. So Aikido is a great martial arts class that I studied, and where, if you guys aren't familiar with Aikido, that's the one that Steven Seagal, in all the movies, he made that famous here in the United States. It's like where when someone pushes or attacks at you, you just move out of the way and redirect them, bam, throw them into a wall, etc. And I really like that because it's a martial arts where it's almost like a dance. You're dancing with your partner. So as they push, you pull. As they come in and attack, you go with them and just redirect their energy, their impact. And I really enjoyed that. And later in life, that came in very handy in some other situations where, I was being attacked, physically, and I had to fight my way out of different situations. And, that really applied itself. So that was an education that I enjoyed, right? So I just give you those 2 or 3 examples of classes that I picked that interested me. And I recommend and I suggest, ask yourself the question, what am I interested in? What excites me? And then, when you're picking your college curriculum, listen to what mom and dad say. I mean, it's cool and everything, but make sure you sprinkle in some classes that you legitimately want to learn more about. Don't end up that student that graduates college with a liberal arts degree. You're an expert in everything and nothing simultaneously, right? Because that doesn't help you in the real world. When you get out there, if you're not great at one thing, or at least getting closer working towards that one thing, life is hard, man. Life is going to be a struggle for you. Some of you that are already out there in the real world, that you ended up going the liberal arts route. You didn't really pick a passion in your education in college. You know exactly what I'm talking about right now. I'm speaking straight to your pain point, aren't I? So it's not too late for you. You can, get the education you need right now in a different direction, right, as I speak about in other episodes. So again, that's my recommendation to you. Is pick courses that interest you. And here's the big takeaway, the lesson. Learn more about things that excite you, right? Not things that don't excite you, not things that excite others. Learn more about things that excite you. Pick your college curriculum, your courses based on that premise. And you're not only going to enjoy what you do, but you're naturally going to excel in these areas because they excite you. You have the energy for them. You're naturally going to get better. If you put in those 10,000 hours practicing that, you'll become an expert at that. So I finish on that. Hope that adds value to your life. I'm Joseph Warren, and you were made for greatness. So stop being a wuss and start being a winner. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.